Yes.
Welcome back to another episode of College Hockey Talk. On today's podcast, I am joined by sophomore of the Michigan State hockey team, Nicolas Müller. Welcome to the podcast, Nicolas, and how's everything going?
Thank you so much. Everything is going well. Thank you for having me. And yeah, it's really cool. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on, Nicolas. I really appreciate it. Now, obviously, this year's college hockey season was very different compared to other seasons in the past. What were some of the challenges your team had to face, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I mean, with all that COVID things, yeah, it was a tough season, I would say. The major parts were like we had two games also like canceled and we had to reschedule, and it makes your like when you're in the flow, it's always hard to just you're prepared for that game and then you just cancel that game. So it was a weird season, but yeah, it's over and we hope for a better season next year.
Yeah, definitely. And you played Minnesota in this year's Big Ten playoffs. Your team lost to them in overtime. I guess what'd you overall take away from that game, especially defensively, where you shut down some of their best players like Sammy Walker?
Exactly. Yeah, we had a really close game against Minnesota, I would say, and yeah, I think we're a good defensively team, and after that 2 week break, we had to practice and to go over some stuff. I think we were a way better team overall, and I think we can learn from yeah. Also, the last years against Wisconsin, we pretty much shut them down. Besides Cole Caulfield, but otherwise pretty good. And then Minnesota as well. So I think we can build on that and just get some more offense going next season, and we can be really competitive then.
Yeah, definitely. And your goaltending in that game was phenomenal. Pierce Charleston played an outstanding game. What did that mean for your team? And to just talk about his performance in that game overall.
Oh, that was awesome. He was incredible. Obviously, he's a freshman. He didn't get too many starts because Drew was also really good, our other goaltender. But yeah, our goal situation is really good. I think also for next year, and yeah, it's been incredible how good they were.
Now, how is playoff hockey different than regular season hockey in the Big Ten?
It's way more intense. I mean, I think Big Ten has a lot of skill and a lot of talent. So, yeah, regular season it's more relief, and you play around, or not play around. It's always competitive, but playoff is just like another level, another competitive step, I would say.
Now, was it cool having the playoffs all in one spot at Notre Dame, and was that an adjustment for yourself?
It was an adjustment, I would say. And to just play one game, I think it was kind of good for our team because we didn't have a really good season and stuff. But overall, I kind of liked it. Would love to see some fans or a series, but yeah, it was a good adjustment because of COVID, so I enjoyed it.
Now, what was it like not playing in front of any fans, and was that an adjustment for yourself as well?
Yeah, I would say it was an adjustment. The fans get you going, and it's just way more fun every playing in front of fans every night. And overall, the whole team gets some more energy and stuff. So it's definitely something else. But yeah, we've been through now, and it worked out as well. You get used to it, and yeah, I don't know. Like, I hope we can see fans next year again.
Yeah, I hope so too. And what did guys do on the bench, I guess, to try to bring that energy on the ice without the crowd noise off the ice?
Yeah, it's kind of like those small things which the fans also see, block shots, and they go crazy, and we just like try to go crazy on the bench and stuff, or some good action offensively, or like, you know, small stuff, hockey details, which we just like try to pep us up kind of.
Now, something else that was introduced to college hockey this year was 3-on-3 overtime. What was that like for yourself, getting more space on the ice and having more offensive opportunities to score goals?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I loved the 3-on-3. We had some good starts in the 3-on-3 in the beginning against Ohio State and Notre Dame. Yeah, I definitely enjoy and like the 3-on-3. I hope the fans will also like it and be able to see it next year, even in live.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the 3-on-3 just because it shows off some of the best players' skill sets, just because with the more space on the ice, but it also eliminates ties. And I hate ties. I don't know about
Mhm.
yourself, but that's some part of the game that I'm happy that's not there anymore.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree.
Now, you were saying at the beginning of the podcast how your team had to deal with some schedule changes during the year. I guess what was the key for maintaining flexibility for this season, and how did you handle those schedule changes that happened?
Yeah, it was like in the end of December schedule, we had to reschedule Wisconsin, which were already here, and like I think the goalie had COVID, so they had to bus home and stuff. So I think the key was like, you know, try to get to be in that flow and keep kind of going. But like overall, it's tough. I don't have like an answer to like how to adjust because it didn't work out really well for us. But yeah, we made it through kind of.
Now, what was the biggest improvement you've made to your game this year?
I've so last year I played like a winger, and this year I've gone to center. So I definitely became stronger and like more experienced. I think our like from our team perspective, I think I was able to produce like a little bit more ice time for the team. But overall, I think yeah, I should like produce even more like that. Our team can be even better. But yeah, definitely a little step.
Now, adjusting from winger to center, what was the biggest adjustment you had to make? I guess I know because winger you're more focused offensively, and then being a center you have to focus on the defensive part of your game a little bit more than being a winger.
Exactly. That was definitely a big part, like Big Ten hockey. We play against good players, and to be able to hold your defensive spot is pretty tough. And then also face-offs. I mean, I've played center before I came here, so I know how to play center, but it was definitely an adjustment to play against the world's best, like college players defensively, plus on the face-off circle.
Now, what did you do during the off season, I guess, to prepare for this season, especially with a lot of uncertainty around it? And I know here in America, a lot of gyms were closed and ice time was very limited. Is that something you experienced during your off season for preparing for this year?
Yeah, well, I've been home in Switzerland. I'm from Switzerland, so it was a little better there, I would say. And I was able to go to the gyms. The ice time was very limited as well, but I was actually able to work out and pretty well back home. So
Now, thinking about this past season, what do you think you need to work on the most to your game?
I think my offensive part, I would say like defensively we're really strong and we work really a lot of it in practice. And I think yeah, our team and especially me as well, like has I have to work on my offensive game and just produce more and play with edge. Play more with edge and spirit. Yep.
Now, I want to transition and talk about before you went to Michigan State. You're from Eresdorf, Switzerland. How did you start playing hockey, and what's it like growing up there?
Yeah, it's different. I would say yeah, it's Switzerland. We hockey's obviously not that big in here. I started on a pond in my backyard as well. So I just loved it in this first time I stepped on the ice. But growing up in like Oristorf and yeah, Switzerland, it's definitely different. We don't have yeah those many hockey players, but it was definitely fun and I really enjoyed it.
And who was your favorite hockey player growing up? Because thinking about some past Switzerland players that I remember, Jonas Hiller was really big with the Ducks. Was that someone you looked up to?
Exactly. I was always in the goal when I was young, so I really looked up to Jonas Hiller. He was also always the cool pats and always like I liked him a lot and still like him.
Now, you started off your hockey career playing for Basel, a club team in Switzerland. How did you get the opportunity to play there?
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes from Aristorf, so it's pretty close, and it's the only like team there around. So I started playing hockey because I I just said to mom, yeah, I want to play hockey. I want to play hockey, and in the end, yeah, Basel gave me a lot, and still like I can skate there in the off season. So it's a really nice area there, and yeah, big city actually. So it's awesome. Basel is a really good team.
Now, what was your experience like in Basel?
Yeah, I've played there until I was like 14, 15, until they didn't have the highest level in Switzerland. So it was a good experience, playing juniors is I think it's totally different than here in the US, what I hear from my buddies here. So it's a different experience, but it was a lot of fun and yeah, playing there was definitely really fun.
Now, you then moved on to the Swedish Elite League. What made you want to go to Sweden and help your hockey development?
Yeah, I mean, Switzerland is a really good hockey country, I would say, because it's so small and still produces kind of a good amount of hockey players. But definitely Sweden is like top, I would say. And, the competitiveness to practice and play against is just like another level than Switzerland. So I decided to go to Sweden, which was a really good decision. But yeah, overall, Switzerland is really good, but then Sweden is just another level, and that's why I wanted to make that transition, kind of.
Yeah, what was it like being far away from home for the first time at such a young age, and how did you adjust to that?
Yeah, it was difficult in the beginning. I moved from home when I was 15. Yeah, to Sweden, and I didn't speak the language or anything, so it was definitely a little bit difficult in the beginning to make my own bed and cook for myself, all those small little things. But in the end, you learn and definitely get like learn also different stuff, not just hockey, and I think overall it was the best decision I could make.
Now, you played for the club team Modo. Talk about your experience there, and how did it help prepare you for college hockey with Michigan State?
Oh, it helped me a lot. We won two Swedish championships there in the under 18 and under 20, so that was tremendous experience. And it's just like Modo hockey. I don't know if you know Modo. It's just like a really big club team in Sweden, which like Victor Hedman from there, the Sedin brothers, Forsberg, like they have some big names coming from that small town. So overall, the hockey knowledge and everything there up there is really, really good. And yeah, I've had some good years there.
Now, you also had the opportunity to represent Switzerland in the World Junior Championships. What's it like getting the chance to represent your country, and what does that mean to you?
Oh, big honor. Really big honor. I've played there from under 16 till under 20. And it's been a really good big honor for me. And yeah, we've also had some really good times there in the national teams. When I played in Sweden and always came back for those tournaments, seeing my old buddies, talking
Mhm.
some Swiss German again was definitely a blessing for me.
Who was the best player you played against, I guess, when you were in the World Juniors?
um, that's a tough question. I probably would say Elias Pettersson, just
Hmm.
because he was really good against us. He was like, I think he had every game against Switzerland. He had like 2 goals and a couple of assists.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, yeah, I don't know. I've played against really good players on the World Juniors, but I would say Elias Pettersson actually. Yeah.
Is it cool, I guess, to see his transition to the NHL and just what he's doing with Vancouver?
Oh yeah, it's really good to see, and also yeah, with some other guys, but Elias Pettersson, I would say is a top centerman in the National Hockey League. But yeah, definitely cool to see.
Now, talk about your recruitment process and what made you want to go to the U.S. and play college hockey.
Yeah, it came kind of late for me, I would say, because yeah, in Europe you also want to turn pro kind of early and stuff. But my dad always told me, yeah, just wait because that college thing is pretty cool too and stuff like that. And then that's why I just waited to turn pro and didn't earn any money or anything. So and then I came to the World Juniors first year, got some small offers and stuff because yeah. Um, and was stoked about it, and that's why I didn't turn pro. And then the next season, the second year on the World Juniors, I played definitely better and was a little bit older, a little bit stronger and stuff. And then I had a good tournament, and then after that, the offer like a couple of offers came in, and I really looked into it. And just I think a month or two after, I flew into Michigan State, and I also looked at some other colleges, but I definitely fell in love with Michigan State. And yeah, the whole recruiting process kind of came really fast. It's just like my dad always told me, yeah, wait for because of that college, and then good tournament, and then yeah, the offers came, and definitely fell in love with that college hockey. Yeah, the whole process. Yeah.
Yeah, and is it cool because I know in the Big Ten there's a lot of different European players that play across different schools, like players like Sampo Ranta and yourself. Is it
Mhm.
cool having some European players that play in your conference?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Also, you with Swedish guy like Weisbach on Wisconsin, to chirp him a little bit on Swedish and stuff. But yeah, definitely cool that we have some European as well.
Now, what was the biggest adjustment you had to make to college hockey? Was it the speed of the game or just the mental side of the game since you're making quicker decisions with the puck, or was it anything else that I'm not mentioning?
Yeah, it's a smaller ice. It's everything is quicker. As you've mentioned, mentally you have to be way more prepared because it's everything quicker. And yeah, it's just college hockey. I think it's a really good hockey league all over the US. So it's a lot of stuff I had to adjust and be faster, be stronger, everything. So it's a lot of things.
Now, how did you adjust to the bigger a smaller ice surface in America compared to the bigger ice surface in Europe? Because something that I noticed watching European hockey is just how big the ice surface is and how you can create different types of plays. Some plays that you can't even create here in the U.S. Was that talk a little bit more about just that whole adjustment?
Yeah, definitely a lot more chipping. In Sweden or like back home, we never like dump the puck or barely. Yeah, it's a lot different hockey, and it's just like the time around the net and stuff is also way different because you have such little time every time here. And yeah, overall it's a lot of stuff which is different, but yeah, time on the puck is just so limited here, I would say.
Now, what's it like playing here in the U.S. and being far away from home as a college student? And I know you talked about how you had to adjust being far away from home at such a young age. Is it a different type of adjustment being far away from home here in the U.S. versus Sweden?
It's definitely another adjustment, but as I already mentioned, I already made that transition from like home to another country, so I experienced that before. So I definitely had it easier when I came to the US, but it's definitely different again because it's 6 hours time difference. It's like another like level kind of again, but I definitely enjoy it. I study here really good and can play hockey, so it's kind of a dream.
Definitely. And how do you balance academics and hockey at such an elite level? And how are you dealing with school being online?
Uh, yeah, it's good. School online, I have to say I don't like it too much. It's a little stressful, and yeah, I would love to go to school now. In the beginning, it was kind of fun, but now you definitely want to go back to school. You just get more work done, and I think overall it's easier to go to class and stuff. But yeah, overall, studying in English, it was an adjustment first year, but now I definitely learned English better and yeah, understand everything in school. So that's good.
Yeah. And talk about playing in the Big Ten and what's it like playing in that conference?
Well, I think it's a big honor playing in the Big Ten. I think this year, yeah, obviously they didn't win in the tournament, which I was a little bit surprised over, but I think we had a ton of skill level and talent in that conference. With Michigan, our biggest rival, have like three top 10 picks like in the next draft, and just Minnesota three top lines, which are just like really good. And yeah, I think Big Ten is a really good conference. It's definitely enjoyable to play in and competitive as well.
Yeah, no, I was very surprised that Minnesota didn't make it to the Frozen Four, and that Minnesota State really shut them out defensively, and that was, I guess, the most surprising part. I think they only had like 9 shots on goal throughout the first two periods, which I guess when you have players like Sammy Walker and Sampo Ranta, it was just really surprising to me.
I know. I was watching the game, and the commentator always said, "Yeah, Minnesota State is just a little bit mature, a little bit harder and stuff." And you could see, I think overall, probably Minnesota still has the more skill level, and in the best of seven series, I don't know who wins, but yeah, it was definitely cool to see Minnesota State also like shutting them out like they did. But yeah, it was a tough night for Minnesota, definitely.
Definitely, definitely. Now we're in a segment I like to call the non-hockey segment, where I ask you some non-hockey questions. My first question to you is, what music do you like to listen to?
Oh, I like to listen to a lot of music overall. Back home, I have some artists I like to listen to, but here also just like normal rap and stuff like that. Yep.
Nice. Who's your go-to artist, I guess, before a game?
It's Einar. It's a Swedish artist.
Nice.
Pretty good.
I know he's very mainstream, but Avicii, he's from Sweden. I always like his music.
Oh yeah, I like him too. Really good DJ.
Now, what is your favorite class in college?
What's my favorite class? I don't know, probably some class in kinesiology because I'm in that major. Yeah.
Nice, nice. What do you learn in that class?
About the human body, muscles, sport, exercising, stuff like that.
Is that something you might consider doing after your hockey career is over?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm so unsure. I want to become a hockey player, so don't know what after really.
Definitely. Now, speaking of your teammates, who is the funniest teammate you have at Michigan State?
Right now, I would say Jake Smith. I'm also living with him, so I think he's really funny.
Now, who has the best style on the team besides yourself?
Ooh, probably Dennis Sasana, our top defenseman. He has a really good style.
Now, what is your favorite outdoor activity?
Favorite outdoor activity would be windsurfing.
Nice. I've never done that before. What's the key to it? Because I've seen some people on the beach do it, and it looks really hard.
Yeah, it's actually pretty hard, but when you learn like to a certain level, it's really enjoyable, and it's tough to stand up and get it going, kind of. But as soon as if you get it going, it's really fun.
I should definitely try it because here where I'm from, it's been super windy. It feels like almost every day. So it's definitely something I should try out because the wind's just not stopping.
Oh yeah, you should. It's really fun, actually.
Now, back to some hockey questions. Now, my first question is, what advice would you give a younger player trying to pursue a Division I college hockey scholarship?
Overall, work hard, have fun, and yeah, just do like be professional at a young age. Helps always. Like try to do some extra work but always have fun. You obviously have also your social life and stuff, but try to be pro at the young age, and then it will definitely help.
Now, is there any shout outs you'd like to give to any of your teammates, family members, or friends?
Actually, I'm good actually with shoutouts. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Nicholas. I really appreciate it. Take care, stay safe, and I just want to let you know that you're one of my favorite players to watch in the Big Ten. So I appreciate you taking time out of your day and coming on.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. I just have one question.